G'day folks, Martin Lenehan here for RLW TV. Week 2 of the finals, 2 absolute one-point thrillers joined by Rocco Luca. Let's have a look at the 5 things we learnt. First of all, match review committee. Zero consistency, nobody can work it out. Josh Jackson has escaped without a charge for ripping Josh Starling's arm out of the socket. Rocco, please explain.
Look, I wish I could, Leno. I have no explanation for this. We saw similar indiscretions committed by Ben Teo and Aiden Guerra. They were suspended. Josh Jackson, it seems like he's done exactly the same thing here, yet he receives no suspension. Look, it's a big game. It's a prelim final, but there is just no consistency here. And please explain from...
Yeah, well, they tell us the arm was not taken out of the normal range of movement. I'm astounded by that. Josh Starling was obviously upset, got up through the ball. We all know what happened after that, or got a little bit of madness after that. But I'm sorry, there is no consistency there. The second thing we learned on the weekend, the rules go out the window in golden point time. Referees will not penalise for offside. They don't want to decide the game on a penalty goal. So we play 80 minutes under the real rules, and then we just go into a farcical situation, I think, where the rules go out the window.
Yeah, look, the referees should really enjoy this occasion. Players love the big occasions, and referees should be the same. So when the big moments come, they shouldn't be scared to make the big decisions, and we just didn't see that on the weekend at all. Yeah,
I think we see more and more of these guys under enormous pressure trying to kick a field goal. I think Josh Reynolds was about 5 metres offside at one point. If you don't want to blow a penalty in golden point, then we need to change the rules. I think the rules are just going out the window. The third thing we learnt, the Roosters. Now this defence, the most vaunted defence in the league last year, held 6 teams scoreless. It's a shot bird this season, their defence. From 30-0 up, they let the Cowboys back in the game.
Yeah, they're really struggling to close games out. The last 2 weeks, as we've seen, they were really building to something defensive-wise the last few weeks of the competition, and now it seems like that's gone out the window. So expect the Rabbitohs to really try and force their hand, especially late on in the game here this week.
Yeah, look, I think if the Roosters tackle like they did, in the second half, particularly last week, they're gone, I think, against South Sydney. The fourth thing we learned, Manly are still the most resilient team in the NRL. They might be gone, but honestly, at 16-0 with all the dramas in injuries, suspensions and everything else going on with that team, they could have just rolled over, but they didn't.
Yeah, I was really impressed with what Manly produced, particularly in that second half. They weren't on their game in that first half, and even the second half, they lacked a bit of execution, but they still had that will to come back and fight back, particularly Cherry Evans. I thought he was off his game, came up with that big field goal. Yeah, look, they're out of the competition. They're still a big game team, and you've got to be impressed with the way they perform there.
Yeah, absolutely. The tenacity in that side is just incredible. The fifth and last thing we learnt from the weekend, I think Jonathan Thurston. Now, this guy, look, people love to talk about the Immortals. This is a Rugby League week. We own the Immortals. Obviously, it's the biggest thing in the game. This bloke is a future Immortal for me. I don't care whether the Cowboys win a competition or not. That seems to be the discussion, that he has to go to another level. I reckon that second half he produced, he's a future Immortal whether they win a comp or not.
Yeah, I don't buy into that discussion that he has to win the comp with the Cowboys. He's a once-in-a-generation player, in my opinion. I would love to have heard what he would have said to his troops when they were down 30-0. I mean, how he would have motivated them to instill belief in them at 30-0 down is beyond me, and I would love to have heard what he would have said to his troops. But, mate, he did it, and look, a few decisions didn't go their way. It would have been the greatest comeback in sports history if he would have got him over the line. But JT, future Immortal, no doubt.
Absolutely. So there you have it, guys. 5 things we learnt. Bring on the preliminary finals. It just keeps getting better.